Alright guys, so today we are going to be trying out Qubeley Mark II over here on the JP version. So we are firstly going to do kind of like a simulated test for the arena. So what I'm going to be doing is going to be a mock battle. I pretty much turn on everyone's like their unit enhancement, their transcendent skill. We got everything maxed out. So we are going to see how this unit is going to perform. Honestly, I don't really think this unit is going to. I don't know. I just don't feel like this unit has what it takes. I think it got something, but at the same time, it really doesn't. So I don't really know how I feel about this unit. So I don't have Ple-Two obviously. So I am just going to be using Poptimus Shiroko. He actually simulates a little bit better in a way because this is more oriented to, I guess, for arena specifically. So this one on activation of EX skill, we get 69% ring sense, and then also on evasion, we are getting that up to 60%, up to 300% essentially if we can dodge up to 5 times within that 10 seconds window. And I guess we are able to gain, I believe it's the reaction on this one as well. I think this one is for new type, so we obviously do have that, but I don't know, I forgot what that one is at. But this one gives another 12%, so let me see. I don't think, oh, that one's rival unit, that's what it is. Yeah, we don't have it in here. So what we are gonna do now, we are just gonna hop into the mock battle. So the rest of the unit are pretty much something that we already do have in global, besides this one is Mesa, which we don't have obviously. I'm just trying to, toss in some extra unit in here as well that global obviously have not seen before. And then we have a full armor double Zeta. So this unit you guys are gonna see, we don't really take any EX damage. The only damage that we can actually potentially take will be just some normal attacks. So that's this is a fairly fun unit, and we do have some guard rate as well, but same manner as a Penelope, once we get hit, we actually do reduce our our guard rate, so we have that. Alright, so let's actually jump in, and then we will see how this Qubeley Mark II can do. Alright, so you guys can see after we maxed out everything, we have 16 point something million HP. That is insane. Holy. Setup wise, I think we can just gonna go for this. Like, doesn't really matter, honestly. I think I'm gonna go like that. So I do hopefully, I mean, I'm trying to get some good footage of Qubeley in here if possible. I don't, it maybe we just die outright, but I'm just trying to see if we can potentially do some good works in here. We are taking a lot of hits already, so that's obviously not the best. So can we even pop an EX skill real quick? No, we die. So I mean, what do you want me to say? Because even when I put in my setup, like the enemy lineup, like I'm kind of simulating what Global has. So I'm not using some really OP units and whatnot. It's just that I crank up pretty much everyone's stats. They have the gear skill as well, if that's the right translation for that. But anyway, so this is not the best. So I probably could try this out a little bit better in a way. Maybe I use some, less powerful unit, but I want to give it my best shot using it in a more, suitable environment, but it doesn't really work. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to chop things up and hop over to co-ops, and maybe over there we can, do better. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so for co-op wise, we will probably try things out with the double Zeta first. So this is going to be the overall setup. We have 3 supports and then 2 other fill-ins. So this one, I believe, is the J from Lowenko. So we have this unit as well, 18, custom level 18, and then we have the modified Rick, the J as well. Oh, let me change up the module. I don't really need that. So this one, I'm just gonna give it the good old stacking module. So we don't want to, let's say, favor the Qubeley to do better, right? So we have that. So alright, that should be fine. For Qubeley, I'm going to be using one that kind of stacks in a way. You know what? I'm not going to be using that one because if I don't activate EXQ fast, we actually lose the buffing. So I'm just going to be using this one where every time we deal critical attacks, we can actually gain some damage as well. I think we possibly can because we do have an easy A support. So that's kind of what I'm aiming at. So let's actually hop in and then see how we would do. We got a double Zeta obviously. So setup wise, We can just do this, and then the rest can just go in the middle slot. I guess for support, it will just be in the back. It should be fine. Alright, so I think we'll actually show out the EX skill first because we obviously could not see it on our initial attempt. Alright, so yeah, it actually just takes a long time to actually, you know, do some damage. So, ooh, it's not bad. When we buff things up, it looks pretty good to me. Okay. Alright, we got the debuffing going on for the beam specifically. We got some more buffs going on. Let's go. Alright, so in this setup, I think we should look good. Alright. Alright, so let's kind of see. It's not bad. Alright, we got Qubeleys going on. Oh yeah, the pilot, I am going to be using Banage instead because it obviously fits everything. It fits the green elements, it fits the generic typing. So I think Banage is actually a superior pilot to use in this situation because Qubeley obviously does have the funnels, and the funnel obviously is able to charge up the attack a lot more faster. So if we are looking at a situation in this specific setup, that's obviously why it's doing so good. Alright, so I think we've probably seen the EXQ enough already, so I think I am just going to exit out of the EXQ. So I'm going to turn it off real quick after that. Animation wise, I think it's pretty similar to all of the Qubeley variants. They just have the funnel EX. They just have the funnel attacking as the finisher, so it's not too terrible, right? All right, so are we gonna be able to finish things off over here? So you guys can see we are dodging. So the dodging aspect does allow this unit to hit harder. So that's why we're cranking up to 200k. So that's insane. So I think global definitely is not going to be nearly as much damage right now because obviously because of level 19 we just are dealing a lot more damage, right? So I think for the J low end code is actually doing pretty good as well because that unit actually is able to stack up critical rate. It takes time, and that's what in this given situation this is a fairly good unit to be using, and it's green, so that's why we have the type advantage, and hence we did a lot of damage. So in this specific setup, I think we look definitely really amazing. So I think I am going to try out different co-op as well just to see are we also going to be able to get the same amount of damage as well. So for this next one, we will fight against Psycho Zaku. So Psycho Zaku is obviously not a Gundam type, so we are going to switch support. So we are going to be using one of the Engage 0, I believe. I forgot which one this one is, but essentially this one actually does buff a new type, and then on EX activation for 20 seconds we are also gaining damage as well. Same thing for the skill 2 as well, so this should be a fairly reliable support as well, and the other will remain the same. And then we will probably toss in Ariel's rebuild as well, because I think for global we will probably not be getting this one at all because this is a collaboration type of thing, so kind of unfortunate, but that's why I want to showcase a little bit more of Ariel's over here as well. Alright, so we are in. As far as the formation, I don't really think we need to change up anything at all. I think this should be fine, I guess, in a way. Yeah, let's just run it at 3 times speed. It should be good. So let's kind of see how we do in this one, since we are fighting against a bombardment unit. I don't think much is gonna change at all. I think we are definitely taking a little bit more damage than we would like, so that's why I think Ariel's is actually good in here, because Ariel does actually heal. So I guess that's why I brought it. You know, hindsight, that's pretty nice, I guess. And our engaged Gundam is actually taking a lot more damage than I wanted to. So yeah, even when we're talking about type, you know, neutral, we're still pumping out a good 150-ish. So if you guys are considering like, oh, what's a good alternative pilot, you know, there you go. But Nodule Links is going to be your answer there, because check out the damage. It's looking pretty good. And holy smoke, Ares is doing pretty good, because we are using Uso Urin for the pilot, and Uso Urin being the second unit and anniversary headlining unit, that pilot is actually pretty good for buffing red and then generic unit. So that's why even a unit that does not nearly has a lot of like good skill 1 and skill 2 and etc, still being able to perform as good. So not bad, right? Not bad for sure. Whoa, those camera angles, man. Holy cow. But yeah, again, you know, we got the Qubeley looking pretty good in this one. And the last co-op that we are going to be running is going to be facing up against the Blue Zaku, so let's actually hop into that. Just to check out the damage, so 65 million from Psycho Zaku, and as far as the total damage distribution, this is what we are looking at. So Qubeley Mark II did a 27 mil, and then the rest are just gonna be still within the double digit for the J and then areas right there. So let's actually hop into the other co-op now. Alright, so immediately hopping into the blue Zagu one. So this is not actually the blue element. When we are getting a unit, it's gonna be blue, but as far as the enemy lineup, it's gonna be a yellow. So I think this one is probably just gonna be similar fashion. I don't think we should be doing anything less, anything more. It's just roughly about about that 150 mark. So that's obviously gonna be pretty good. So I think overall this is definitely a fairly competent unit to use in just general PvE content in a way. But I think for arena, you really don't want unit that needs to stack up the evasion, because this unit outright got pummeled right out the bat. So I think for arena, you definitely want to use, if you are talking about evasion specifically, you gotta have like at least a good amount of evasion built in already. Then I think it should be sufficient. But any of these that need to stack, for example, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. So that's why when we try things out in the mock battle, you guys can see that this Qubeley Mark II was just not holding itself at all, because we were just taking way too much damage, and then by the time we took enough damage to gain the EXQ or the evasion rate, we already died. So hopefully you guys did enjoy watching this kind of like a mini showcase for this Qubeley Mark II, and I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.